Hey everybody, it's me, Aholibamah, and I'm here to give you a tour of my single-player world, and perhaps have a better time at making videos for the single-player world. I just recently started this one because I broke my other single-player world that was fairly well advanced, but anyway, sometimes my boys come jump on this with me, but I believe I will, for the most part, be by myself, and I will be setting up some neat stuff. So without further ado, I will take you on a tour of my mushroom kingdom here in the mycelium universe. Basically, off that direction we have the desert, but I'm building in the mushroom biome because I don't have to deal at all with any enemies except around the beaches where it's considered ocean biome and it spawns grass, but once it's taken over by mycelium, those spawns go away. So it's been really nice, and it makes it really easy to find spawners because they still spawn and I just listen for the sounds and then go jump on them. So let's get after it and go see what's going on here. Change my view. It's a little more than just a keyboard press in the PE version. So over here, as I wandered along, I happened into a cave. And in that cave, I started to hear some growling. And I'm assuming you probably can't hear it, but I set up my first spawner right here. So there's these guys. Then, as I moved onward, I was over this direction, and I decided to set up camp, and I didn't need anything except a few chests, and I've pretty much just built around those chests ever since. After I threw the chests down, I set up some dirt and then some stone to separate the dirt, and then some regular dirt, and made a little bit of a tree farm. So the only kind of wood I have here is acacia, and I've obviously used it to make these pens. I ran off through that desert, and on the other side is savannah, where I picked up a couple horses, and I brought them back and threw some armor on them. Obviously, the only thing that naturally spawns here is these guys, so I threw a bunch of them in a pen, and I've been breeding them and eating them. And every now and then, if I'm just hanging out around here to do stuff, then I will use a bowl for my food. Just come up and use a bowl on them. And in case you don't know, that is a neat trick. Not in there. Where did I leave that bowl? Maybe it's in my food chest. Oh, there it is. That's a neat trick to get mushroom stew. And something I've noticed since is if you're hungry and have an empty bowl, you will automatically eat the mushroom stew after you get it from them. So that's been kind of neat. So after that, the next thing I did was build a mine, and then I threw some stairs in it using the cobble that I got out of the mine. So I was digging down here, and I ran into this cave, so I thought I'd explore. When I was in the desert, I grabbed some other things so that I could set up this automatic cactus farm and easy to use sugarcane farm. Just come through, and I'm going to get an automatic one once I decide where I want to put it, and I'll have automatic sugarcane at that point. So I'll throw this in here for now because it's a good place to store it. Anyway, as I explored and lit up these caves for no other reason than so I could see my way, I kind of wandered around and wandered down here. And over here, look what I found. And I've lit it up now, but this is our spider spawner. the noise just led me right to them. So if we head back out, I dug my mine a little further and found another cave, and as I explored this one, there was some more noise, and I just dug around a lot, as you can see from my holes making this place into Swiss cheese. And over here, you probably can't hear it, but on the other side of here we have a skeleton spawner. Jump down before they shoot me. Okay, so here we have 3 spawners, 2 of which are set up to harvest from. And down there, there's nothing else really exciting other than, you know, I did my branch mines. And up here, it's kind of nice. You come up and the first thing you see is the trees. So I took a lot of the stone that I was gathering. Oh, one more thing before I did that. I found this area over here, and it spawned a spider and still had grass. So really quick, before the mycelium took over the grass, I dug a moat around it. And then as I got crops and such, some of the seeds of which came from a village, and the carrots and potatoes came from the zombie farm. I planted those here so that I could have food, and this is where I do my fishing. But I also took the stone from that mine, and over here, thinking, well, nothing can spawn anywhere here, so if I make a spawning space, it'll fill up pretty quick. It looks like it's starting to work. Mr. Creeper has jumped down off of it, though. I set this up, and it's got hoppers on the bottom, and I put in stone bricks all the way up there, 35 blocks. And my plan is to build a nice little spawner with automated flushing mechanism, and it'll wash them into a center stream that washes them over to here, but I need to do some rebuilding on that. Now, you may have noticed that I have this structure I built. That was one of the next things I did. After I managed to get silk touch on an axe, I constructed this palace of the Mushroom Kingdom, and it's still a work in progress. So I took my silk touch axe and chopped down a bunch of brown mushrooms for this, and when I get up high enough, then I'm gonna branch outward and make it look like a giant mushroom with a red top. So this will be the stalk, and then up there is the red that'll be the outside layer. So in here we have nether brick stairs that take you up to the 2nd floor. And the 3rd floor, which I haven't really worked on much. Haven't finished the wall of the 2nd floor, but this will probably be where I put farms. And I'll just build farms higher and higher in this. And use that for my supplies and such. So, my various chests full of stuff. I managed to find some blazes, and I set up an area with them so that I can mine them somewhat safely. So here's our mushroom mine and our sign that says that way to the desert and savanna. And then over here we have experienced the Skelezombie Enchantery. So you've seen the zombies, but here's the skeletons. Usually use a bone to get them because they're fairly well weakened. But then some extra chests to store the stuff they give you. And here's the Enchantery, complete with anvil. And over this way, we're back to the zombie spawner. So they're not very far apart, but if I were to hazard a guess, I'd say they're too far to activate both of them at the same time. So the actual place that the zombies spawn is down there, that direction. And then they're dropped here. So that's always fun. So it's nice that at night I don't have to worry how many torches are out, because nothing's going to spawn except on that platform over there. And they only survive if they land in the water. So I don't really worry about it a whole lot. And I can watch the skeletons go up if there's somebody else in there using the spawner. So let's see if anything spawns if I come over here and get a little closer, huh? Do we get anything on there? I think the range might be too far if I'm anywhere other than right here, so because that's pretty high up there. And I'm not sure what the ranges are on PE, but anyway, the way that I use to get my mushroom blocks is I just throw some bone meal on any mushroom that grows on mycelium, basically. And they are fairly easy to grow, usually. And then I can just take my axe to it, renamed it Mush Mover, and it just chews right through it, pardon the expression. And for whatever reason, every block comes out looking identical on every side, including the stalk. So this stalk looks white, you chop it, and it came from brown mushrooms, so it's the brown blocks on every side. And I don't even have to worry about growing more mushrooms, because as long as I don't use all of them, they will just keep spreading, and then I can come over and use the ones that have spread. So that is how I gather blocks to build my house. Over there are some more beach areas that I lit up because I had some spawns coming from there. And they happen to have grass that has stuck around quite a while now. So that's been really nice. I love the color of the grass on this. It's a beautiful, healthy green. Not like my lawn at home. So that's a really nice color, and it contrasts well with the mycelium here. So that's the basic tour of what I've got in the overworld. Really quick, I have done some stuff in the nether. I'll take you there really quick, and maybe in a future episode we can work some stuff out. So this one's basically just a, hey, welcome to this single player world. This is what I've done so far. So I've cleared this out for pigs to spawn so that I can beat them up and take their gold. I may hear that that's not smart, but on PE, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to spawn more pigs, and they only come running if they're like within hearing distance. So I can even see other ones that won't come to the rescue if I'm killing one. So it hasn't really been a big deal. But right down here, I found a double intersection that I mined out to try to get wither skeletons. And I have yet to see one wither skeleton on the whole time I've been playing. So this is a double intersection, as you can see from the floor here. Here's one, and here's the other. And then there's one of these kind of intersections that doesn't count, but it's still more spawning space, right? Because it's fortress. And then over here is another hallway that's not more intersection, but it's another hallway, and it's one block away. So this block probably doesn't spawn any, but the block I'm standing on does. So I decided to include that in my room here, and so far, no matter where I walk to, I come back. I've seen blazes spawn, but I have never to date seen a skeleton spawn in here of any sort. in the entire game, actually. I've got another one downstairs by a blaze spawner that I've done also. So that's over this way. Run down here past the mushrooms and turn right. I'm going to jump down in here. Then go down another level over here. And if you're wondering, no, I didn't plant any of these mushrooms. They came that way. So this is another intersection that I dug out. This was the first one I dug out. And this is where I've seen blazes spawn, but still no skeletons. And over that way is my blaze spawner that I've been lighting up slowly. I don't have any glowstone on me right now, but if you want to see, I've been trying to light it up enough that they stop spawning so that I can set it up properly. It's not the one that I've actually been using a lot yet. I'm hoping to get it there, but so far not much going on with it. These are just a couple of little safe rooms. If I do get in trouble with some wither skeletons, I can run and hide in a place they can't get to me, hopefully. So I know wither skeletons do spawn on PE, but they have not spawned in this world. I'm wondering if that has something to do with my portal being in the mycelium. Okay, now back here, if I remember right, which way was it? Let's try here. This, I don't think, is the one. So, obviously I'm going to need to clean up some spawning spaces in the nearby areas so that I can get some wither skeletons. This is the one. This is my other excuse me, spawner. And this one I've made somewhat safe so that it's fairly easy to get blaze rods, but it's not ideal yet. So, I lure them over like this, and then when they come over there, I beat them and take their rods. And that's all there is to it. They can't get out, but I can get the rods. And that is the goal. And their head is blocked so they don't shoot at me. So that's about all the exploration I've done in this fortress. Well, no, I've explored this whole fortress as far as I know. And I found a second one. The second one is off this direction. If we come out here, then these paths continue out that way. You see the two of them coming out. And they go off into the, well, not so much into the distance with this one. But there's another one down there. And it stops right over there. But if it were to continue going, I believe it would run straight into the other fortress that is off in that direction. So I'm thinking about building a safe road along it to get there. Safe being a relative term. Safe from ghasts. And I just wish I could have one skeleton. I'd even take a regular skeleton spawn in here. That would be great. So far, the only thing I've seen spawn in the upper levels of this fortress is a magma cube that was right down there. And that kind of makes me sad. I don't even get pigmen. So, yeah, there's a lot of cleaning up to do. I fell through to the inner workings at one point and located a zombie pigman in the underneath, and he was hanging out down there with an enderman, so I took both of them out, but I still need to go back and slab that. I made this path safe in between. It goes over a lovely pool of lava down below. When I made my portal, it came out just right here on the edge of this little not quite cliff, hill. And there's lava just past those fires. Obviously, I've played with a few ghasts here. I've taken out a lot of the quartz, but not all of it. And I used a lot of the netherrack I cleared out here to build a little safe room around the portal so I don't come through and already be shot. So, that is basically everything I've built on this single player world. And so, next time I record... Oh, hey! That's not everything I've done, though. Since it's raining, I'll show you over here. I generally name my fishing rod when I get a really good one. And I name them the same thing each time, the Pescatarian. But this time I decided to get a little creative, so it's the Pescatarian. So creative, right? But this thing is a beast. It catches stuff like nothing else. And having said that, it's probably not going to catch any fish, but we'll have a good time, and maybe we'll see something drop out of the sky with all the lightning going on. I have fought several of the horse traps, the skeleton traps. But that'll be all for this episode, so I hope you come back for another one soon. Whoa, that was close. I'm glad that didn't spawn a skeleton right there, or I'd be getting shot right now. Oh, that's right at my front door. I probably ought to go check on that. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Thanks. Come back again soon, and rock on.